Trás-os-Montes region, Portugal, and in both Salamanca and Zamora counties, you can find a unique place in Europe for several reasons: the transboundary Biosphere Reserve Meseta Ibérica. This reserve is one of the most relevant projects of ZASNet. It is in a territory that covers 1,132,606 hectares, which is made up of 87 municipalities, that is 12 in Portuguese land, 48 in Zamora County and 27 in Salamanca County. Transboundary Biosphere Reserve Meseta Ibérica is one of the most biodiverse enclaves in Europe. The common factor in this territory is the duality between mountain and plateau areas. Thus, we can find ourselves in the natural park of Sanabria Lake, fed by the river Tera, and in Puebla de Sanabria, a municipality regarded as one of the most beautiful in Spain. All of it wrapped in the leafy Serra de Culebra, as green as it is the natural park of Montezinho. And throughout the whole reserve we can find a great variety of mushrooms, a great amount of exceptional golden honey harvested by the bees in their hives, chestnuts, wineries and an exceptional wine, among which the brands of the Douro, Vinheteiro and the Ribes deserve a special reference. In addition, olive oil, among many other products that make up a very special and varied gastronomy throughout the whole territory. In these contrasting landscapes, we find deep river valleys where the River Douro or Águeda make their way through the Douro International Natural Park and the Natural Park of Ribes del Duero, with steep valleys that draw the natural border between countries and the possibility of navigating between its waters. Moreover, between them, the rehabilitated railway of the former route of the train of Frejeda in Salamanca, where an imposing route finds its way. In all the villages and cities, we find small hermitages and beautiful churches of all styles, although with a dominant Romanesque. Also worthy of mention, there are some impressive fortresses, such as the Castle of Algozo in Vimioso and Bragança's Castle, which has a view over its town. In Spain, there is the San Felices de los Gallegos Castle, located in a village nearby Salamanca, which is declared as historical complex. We also find places with charm and history, such as Fermoselle, a balcony with some of the best views to the Ribes del Duero, or Mirandela, with its lush gardens located on the margin of the Tua River. Besides everything that has already been mentioned, we can add several places where you can have a wonderful time, like beaches by rivers, for instance, Villar de Ciervos, Sional and the protected landscape of Azibu Lagoon. The largest transboundary biosphere reserve in Europe can be proud of the enormous richness of its biodiversity and the level of fauna and flora, being the place with the highest population of wolves in the European continent. Its historical artistic heritage is as important as its cultural and traditional events, with rituals and celebrations that date from centuries ago and still keep the same costumes and masks. Also, the Archaeological Museum of Lumbrales, we find the remains of other ancient cultures that have survived so far, as well as vestiges of the traditional industry of times not so distant in the Textile Museum of the same place. Finally, the reserve also has a suitable landscape that allow the construction of hydroelectric power stations that are positioned along the wide flow of the River Douro during its descent by the Arribas. It Enormous praise, such as the one of Socelle in Salamanca, Picote, Miranda do Douro, or Bem-Posta, standing for the spirit of the energies for which the reserve bets. In short, the transboundary Biosphere Reserve is one-of-a-kind territory in every aspect, places where nature and man have lived together, Meseta Ibérica, for centuries, and where the historical tradition remains unchangeable before the present gaze. A land with many evidences of identity that make it a unique enclave around the world.